Hello everyone. Today we gather to nourish the wisdom of the mind, to awaken the life essence that is formless, spacious, clear, and pure within us. The purpose is that we may be free from suffering once and for all, to awaken to truth itself, for one ultimate aim, that this will be our final life. We will not return to be born again. We have exchanged bodies countless times. This body does not last long. When it breaks apart and dies, if the mind has not realized itself as the pure life essence, it will drift to attach itself to a new vessel, taking on another form. When that vessel is an animal, whether water-dwelling, land-dwelling, winged, underground, of the air, or even in space, there are endless numbers waiting to be inhabited, like countless grains of soil covering the world. Human vessels, in contrast, are very few, like picking up just a couple of grains of soil between two fingers. The rest, numberless, stretching to infinity, represent the consciousness that inhabits animal forms. This is why the chance of gaining a human body is extremely rare, almost impossible. When the mind, the life essence within us, has not yet awakened to its own nature, we do not know that we are a reality without form. It is a nature that is empty, untouched by fabrication, the primordial life essence of all things, radiant, pure, utterly clear. On the day I awakened to this truth of my own essence, it was because awareness turned inward. I came to understand the fabricated nature of things and saw that this body exists only because we think. We rely on this inner voice to think continuously. We think inside our hearts all the time, yet we do not know that we are thinking. We believe instead, this is my house, my car, my arms, my legs. This voice assigns value and meaning to everything. We think, I was born into this world, I was a child, I grew up, went to school. All of this we only imagined. We depend on thought, on the voice within. Even the words I am speaking now are but an expression of mind, an appearance. It is this very voice that we rely upon to give meaning to everything. Everything arises because we lean on this voice. To say we rely on means that these things are not truly us. We rely on this body as a vessel, but we have changed vessels countless times, mostly as animals. To rely on means that we ourselves are a reality without form. Therefore, we come to dwell in a vessel that has form. Do you see? When I came to perceive this truth, tears fell. The belief that I was human collapsed completely. We come to rely on the voice. This shows that we are a nature that itself has no voice. We come to rely on mental images, on thoughts and imaginings. Every time we think of something, an image appears with it. We not only depend on the voice, we also depend on images. When we think of going to the sea, an image of the seashore arises. When we think of going into forests and mountains, images appear. We rely on images. We rely on voice. This means we are a nature that has neither image nor voice. It is empty, empty of these things. We rely on emotions, whether satisfaction, called happiness, or dissatisfaction, called suffering, or neutrality, or calm. There are countless other emotions: anger, hatred, resentment, ill will, sadness, loneliness, or joy, delight, elation, ease, lightness, serenity. All of these emotions, we depend on them. We sink into pleasure, we sink into pain, believing them to be real. Yet to rely on emotions means that we ourselves are a nature without voice, without form, without image, without emotion. Therefore, we take up these tools. Do you understand this point? And still, this is not all. We also depend on memory. This shows that our true nature does not need memory. It is free of all memory. we rely on another thing as well. Perception, the knowing that hears sound right now, sees images right now, smells scents right now, knows through the 5 windows of sense, tastes flavors right now, feels hot or cold through the skin right now. This perception too we rely on, which means that we are a nature that does not even depend on perception. We are a nature without form, spacious, clear, supremely pure. On the day I awakened, I saw that all these things we have relied on for so long, never realizing we had mistaken them for ourselves. But when awareness turned inward and observed these functions, the reflection arose: why must I depend on these? Where is my real being? This question appeared in the heart, one that had been there since childhood. Why were we born? What do we really seek? All along, there was this question inside. How did we come to inhabit this vessel, this body? Why must we rely on such a vessel? Why is it not the kind of form, the beauty we might have wished for? Why must we live in this body at all? Why were we born? Such questions lingered in the heart continually, a deep and quiet wonder. As a child, I do not know when I became so close to the dog we raised. I only knew that from birth I saw this dog. Its name was Kai, just an ordinary house dog. From the time I was young, it would run to play with me again and again, until a deep bond grew between us. One day, the dog I had been close to since childhood died. At that time, I was probably in the first year of primary school. I did not know what death was, because I had never encountered it before. I only saw that the dog I used to play with every day had grown old and then died. I saw it lying still, unmoving, and the adults buried it. I was deeply puzzled. Why had the one I played with every day, the one I loved and felt so close to, died? A question arose in my heart. Why must there be death? Will I never see it again? From that young age I felt immense grief, deep sorrow within. I had been living in reliance on pleasant emotions, though I did not know it. I had been living in reliance on painful emotions, and on emotions of every kind, without ever realizing it. I never knew that I was dwelling in this body only as a guest. I never knew that I was depending on thought, on images, on emotions, and on perception. No one had ever told me. From the day I was born, no one ever taught that what we truly are is mind, the life essence that is spacious, clear, and utterly pure. Instead, we were taught to believe that we are human. We were taught to believe that we must think, must remember, must labor, and struggle to sustain this body. No one ever told us that we are mind, merely borrowing this vessel for a brief while. There are countless minds inhabiting the vessels of animal bodies. Everyone in this world is such a mind, residing temporarily in these forms. My father is one such mind inhabiting that body. My mother is another, inhabiting hers. Brothers, sisters, grandparents, all are minds dwelling in their vessels. Even that dog, the one I named Kai, was a mind dwelling in that form. But every vessel decays and dies. The bodies of all creatures cannot endure for long. That dog lived for perhaps a little more than 10 years, maybe 20 at most. Some creatures live only a single day before dying. Some live a week, then die. Some live a month, then die. Some only an hour. Some live a year, 7 years, 10 years, or 100 years, and then die. The average lifespan of a human body is around 70 years, and then it dies. Yet sometimes it may die within a single day, because nothing is certain. In some, the body is born only in order to die. One might be lying down to rest when something falls and crushes the body, and it dies. One might be walking and slipping, strike the head, and die. Running along, an accident may occur. A falling tree strikes the body, and it dies. Playing in the water, a tsunami may come, sweeping the body into the sea, and it dies. The death of the body is a natural matter, but we do not know this. We imagine that we will not die. We imagine that the dog we loved would not die. Yet one day it did die, and deep suffering arose. From that moment, I began to learn what suffering is, why it cuts so deeply. After Kai died, grief stayed hidden in my heart. The sorrow was so great that the question arose, why must everything we love be like this? Why must it die? I could not understand why death must be, nor where one goes after dying. I believed death meant being gone from us forever. No one ever taught me about the mind. Only when realization arose within did I understand. I awakened to the truth that we are mind, the life essence, empty, radiant, pure. In reality, we have never truly been born into this world at all. This is what we cannot accept, that within the pure life essence there is no suffering, and it is present at all times. Even now, as these words are being spoken, it is ever the same, empty, clear, and pure within. It is not bound up with the sound of speech. The voice that speaks is not us. This body is not us. The sound is not us. What is knowing right now is not us knowing. They are simply manifestations of nature. We are the primordial nature itself, while these appearances are merely movements, energies performing their functions. When vibration appears as sound, it simply carries out its task. It becomes clear that these activities are not us. I speak in human language so it may be understood, but in truth it goes beyond this. In reality, there is no sound at all. What we call sound, for me, it is seen as nothing at all. Only purity remains. Everything is pure. All is one undivided essence. This is what human beings cannot grasp. We are deluded by what has no self-substance, attached to what is not truly us, not ours. We do not know our true being, the being beyond fabrication. This is the knowledge I must proclaim for all in this world to hear, so that suffering may end, so that the cycle of birth, aging, sickness, and death may be transcended. I do not wish for us to go on being born only to die in vain. Every living being, of every kind, has a mind dwelling within. Whatever has life does so because the mind, the life essence, abides there. If any material form lacks a mind within, that form cannot move, cannot live. Wherever the life essence abides, that form can move, can eat, can repair, and sustain its vessel. For the human body, if the mind departs, it collapses at once. The heart ceases, the brain cannot think, the body cannot move, and decay begins immediately. But if the mind abides, the body lives. All its functions operate. Once we have this body, we must eat. If food does not nourish it, the body stops working. This body, being material, is always in decay. Without food, it will cease. This we must come to understand. Because we depend on the body, we must struggle to find sustenance, and thus we are imprisoned within it, from waking until sleep, constantly entangled in the struggle to maintain life in this world of convention. When this body breaks apart and dies, if the mind, the life essence, has not yet realized itself, it will go on to seek another body, taking form as some kind of creature. The chance of gaining a human body is exceedingly rare. With an animal body, one must struggle constantly to find food, to sustain the form, imprisoned in bodies of water-dwelling, land-dwelling, winged, underground, airborne, or even space-borne beings, always struggling for nourishment, yet in the end the body grows old. No matter how well it is cared for, it ages, it sickens. Even if never ill before, countless diseases arise. Finally, it dies, because it is always deteriorating. This body is only a vessel born to decline. It is like being given a car, new at first, but after some use it begins to wear down, corrode, and eventually cannot be driven. Then we must find another car. Even with careful maintenance, problems arise until at last it breaks beyond use, and we must seek another vehicle. So it is with the body. Every time we gain one, we must feed it, tend to it, and in the end, it meets with accident, is eaten, attacked by sickness, disabled, and finally destroyed. In sum, this body is a mass of suffering. We are mind, the life essence, and whichever vessel we inhabit, we suffer with it. We must struggle to feed it, only to be consumed in turn. Most of the time we eat others, and they eat us. We hate them, and they hate us. There is mutual conflict and destruction without end. Whatever kind of creature we become, it is always like this. In the end, we die in pain and futility, only to search out yet another body, to struggle again for survival, and then to die in futility once more. We have never truly known that we are the pure element. Our minds have kept changing vessels for this very purpose. We have gone to dwell in animal bodies, but animals have no ability to understand the mind itself. Do you see? To inhabit an animal vessel is to die in vain. Only when, at last, we are born into a human vessel, so rare, so difficult to obtain, does the possibility arise. Countless minds struggle to attain a human form. We have changed bodies countless times. We have had endless children and grandchildren, countless husbands and wives, countless fathers and mothers. Parents have changed again and again. In truth, every mind has been connected with us at some point, has been our father, our mother, our child, our grandchild. Every person in this world, every creature upon it, has had ties to us. Parent, child, friend, enemy, consuming one another, destroying one another, circling endlessly in this way. The reality is this: throughout the infinite universe, there are boundless minds inhabiting the vessels of all living beings. Infinite. These minds take on vessels only for the chance to know themselves. Have we ever wondered? Why do we live in this vessel at all? However high we study, however much knowledge we accumulate, even 1,000,000 doctoral degrees, what is it all for? Merely to get paper, to get money, to buy food, isn't it? However much money we earn, in the end we eat just one meal. Animals are the same. They struggle, they devour one another, yet it always comes down to this: to eat and then to sleep. Eat, then sleep. Wake up and hunger arises again. This body exists for food. Without food it dies. And so we are slaves to the body. We must sleep because we are tired. We must rest. We must rise to hunt for food. If we do not, others will consume us. We must hide, flee, fight, struggle to eat. After eating, we hide and rest, and when we wake, we struggle once more, circling in suffering, drowning in painful emotions, clinging to the body, clinging to identity, only to lie down again. That is all. The life of animals is only this: to eat, to sleep, to grow old, to sicken, and finally to die in vain, without gaining any true knowledge. Once, we may have been sea creatures, learning the ways of the ocean, knowing them well. But when the body died, that knowledge vanished. Once, we may have been underground beings, learning the ways of the earth. But when death came, all of it disappeared. Once, we lived as land dwellers, as birds in the air, as beings with families and children, knowing many things. Yet when the body died, all knowledge perished. The mind left that form and sought another vessel, starting again, circling like this. This is the cycle of fabrication, the cycle of being born only to die in vain, the most futile cycle of all. Why must we be born into such emptiness, only to lose it all? So I began to ask myself, why were we born? What do we really want? And when will it end? When 𝙤𝙤, the dog I had lived with since childhood, died, the suffering was overwhelming. At that time, I did not know that I was drowning in sorrow. I believed everything was truly real. I believed this body was mine, though in truth it cannot last long and only ends in death. The mind that had dwelled in 𝙤𝙤 also died in vain and went on to find a new body. Back then, I understood none of this. I only told myself, from now on, I will never love another animal, because each time a beloved animal died, the pain was too much. So I resolved never to love them again, not wanting to witness that loss. At that time, I knew nothing. Life was lived immersed in pleasure, immersed in pain. Why are we so foolish, sinking into sorrow, clinging to joy, craving happiness, and rejecting suffering? No one ever taught us that emotions are not ourselves, that they are only conditions, tools we come to rely on for a time. No one ever taught us that this body is only a temporary vessel. Instead, we were taught to believe this body is us, that this is who we are. And so we struggle, kill, and fight over land, water, air, and every resource, destroying one another in pursuit of what is not truly us, not truly ours. It is as if we are desperately searching for something that has no real existence. Do you realize that one day this world will explode and dissolve into nothingness? Suppose tomorrow the entire earth were to shatter apart. We would not know. We have never known that such a thing could be. The sun itself will one day explode, and the force of that explosion will destroy all nearby stars, including our world. Tomorrow, if the earth were to burst into fragments, time would be short, but we would not know. In that moment, some people might be working hard, striving to be good and diligent. Some might be acting wrongly, immersed in harm. Some might be cultivating discipline, accumulating merit. Some might be asleep. Some might be happy. Some might be suffering. Yet when the time comes, the sun will explode. Bang! And everything will be destroyed. The entire solar system will be consumed, the world shattered into fragments, burned away. Our bodies are torn to pieces, reduced to dust. The thing we clung to as our body, gone. The voice we speak with, gone. Images and thoughts, gone. All emotions, gone. Everything, gone. Yet there is one nature that never becomes anything at all. The mind, our life essence, continues as it always has. What remains is only life itself, formless, without a vessel to inhabit once the body has broken apart. All knowledge we once held disappears. Love disappears. Hatred disappears. Understanding, memory, all clinging and attachment, all dissolve. What we once believed to be our parents, our relatives, all vanish. Every bit of knowledge we once held, all belief that we were human, falls away. What is left is emptiness, clear, pure, radiant. Then it moves on, seeking a new vessel, on a new world, beginning once again as another creature. Look closely. All that we did in this life, all that we clung to as us or ours, where is it now? The truth is this: each time we inhabit a vessel, we must learn anew, remember anew, and begin all over again. And when the body falls apart in death, everything we knew vanishes. The one we loved most, gone. The one we hated most, gone. Every memory, gone. We have been searching all along for something that has no real existence. Do you understand this? The voice I use now to speak with you, the voice that you hear within yourselves, the voice that you speak silently in your own minds. This voice is only an appearance, only a tool we rely upon. No one ever told us that it is not us. It is merely an activity. Yet we let ourselves be swept away, clinging to it. No one has ever pointed out clearly that this voice we use to communicate has no true self, no actual existence. It is not our voice. Do not cling to it. Do not sink into it. We are mind itself, the life essence that is formless, empty, clear, utterly pure. We are one with the elemental essence of the universe, the primordial ground that was nothing at all. On the day of awakening, I saw the voice that was speaking in my mind all the time. I saw that this voice is what creates every story. From the very beginning until this very moment, it has always been this voice speaking. And you can notice for yourselves, you are always aware of this voice. We rely on the knowing, on the function of awareness that perceives sound, perceives scent, perceives images. We know everything through this act of knowing, which we have depended on all along. Even now, as sound is heard, there is no need to intend. It is already known. Sound is being fabricated endlessly. Perception is perceiving endlessly. But do you see? These two functions are only tools. They are not us. No one ever taught us this. No one ever pointed it out clearly. I awakened within, and for the first time saw the voice that had been speaking. Then I understood. Ah, it is this very voice that has created every story. That we are human, that these are our parents, children, relatives. All of it was only thought. Tears fell. The heart grew light, free, and spacious. Whenever we, as mind itself, realize that we are the life essence, empty, radiant, and pure, we see that we have only come to rely on these vessels and tools in order to learn that our true nature is this pure essence. This no one has ever taught. That is why the subject of awakening to mind is the very knowledge I wish to proclaim for the whole world to hear. All of us have a mind, yet we do not know it. So remember this. Share the teachings in the 𝙈𝙖𝙨 channel so that everyone in this world may hear. Play them aloud so that everyone in your home, your family, your village may hear, especially from childhood. If a mother carrying a child listens, the child will grow light, spacious, and able to awaken to the pure essence. Then we will no longer suffer. Children, the elderly, the disabled, women and men, people of every age, every class, every religion, every race, every nation, all can hear. For this truth is what every human being must awaken to as quickly as possible. Otherwise, we waste this life in vain. We must not be born only to die for nothing. We have been given the human vessel, the most excellent of all. No other vessel can come to know the mind. Only the human form has evolved enough to turn back against the stream and realize its essence. Animal vessels, with their limited evolution of brain and communication, cannot possibly do so. They cannot reverse the stream to awaken to the truth. Even if we speak of beings from other worlds, if they are to awaken, they must still be human. Whatever star they live on, only when evolution has given their brains the subtle capacity for reasoning, for turning back to no mind, only then can there be awakening. Whether here or elsewhere, whether called human or alien, it is only this vessel, the evolved human mind, that can realize the truth of its own nature. I want to say this. Every one of us has a mind, yet we do not know our own mind. That is what is most heartbreaking. On the day I awakened, tears fell. I wept, as it became clear that everything in this world is only voice, the voice that creates every story. But the truth is that our original nature, empty, clear, and pure, is free of any fabrication. It is only pure, untouched. It is still. It does not move. It does not shift. Imagine this. If we were to erase the entire universe, erase all the stars, the sun, the black holes, the darkness, the light, erase everything, what would remain is a pure emptiness. There is no space, no size, no movement, no time, no distance, no darkness, no light, no arising, no ceasing, no dissolving. This is the primordial nature, the original element. This element is unstained, not fabricated in the slightest, not even by a speck of dust. It is utterly clear, utterly pure. This is the original element. Let us call it the cosmic element. Yet within it, there is no universe. There are no words for it, because there is nothing at all. Still, it is an element, the primal element, the empty element. And within this element, there is its own essence, the origin point out of which all arises. We are that element. We are one with it. We are the life essence, inseparable from that empty, radiant, pure element. All of us are of one and the same essence. It is like being part of a vast ocean, entirely one with it. Then, one day, there is an eruption within that ocean, an explosion. Countless droplets are cast out, beyond all measure, infinite. That is what our minds are like, emerging from the emptiness of the cosmic element. This is how it was when the first great explosion, the Big Bang, occurred. It burst forth in this way. This is an analogy, given so that human beings may understand. If we compare it to the great ocean, then each tiny droplet is our mind. In truth, we are all one essence, but an explosion separated us. The pure element within us sought to learn. That was the very point of origin. That longing to learn, that was the beginning. In space, we call it the Big Bang. But in the image of the ocean, I call it the explosion of the water's substance, bursting forth, scattering into droplets. And these droplets, imagine them clearly. When something touches the surface of a droplet, waves ripple across it. Picture a large mass of water before you. When something strikes its surface, pong, it registers the contact, then ripples outward. That ripple is fabrication. It is simply the activity of the water's surface, responding, knowing, then moving. So these tiny droplets went on to dwell in bodies, in material vessels. When the life element entered matter, that matter became a living being. In the very beginning, before even the first stars appeared in the emptiness, the Big Bang erupted. An immense surge of energy burst forth. That colossal energy was the first thing to arise within emptiness, emanating from the original element. It began to interact, drawing upon itself, forming particles. Tiny particles gathered together, becoming electrons, protons, neutrons, matter itself. Dust-like fragments clustered, bound together, spinning upon themselves, until stars, suns, and worlds came into being. And our minds, our very essence, began to dwell within those fragments of matter, attaching to the stars themselves. As the stars cooled, conditions aligned, life appeared, single-celled beings emerged, from 1 cell to 2, to 3, to 4, multiplying endlessly, becoming creatures both vast and minute, feeding, devouring, sustaining their bodies. From there, the attachment arose. We have a body. And with that, thought and fabrication began. The system of thought and fabrication has always circled around a very narrow range. It thinks only of eating, then understands, I am full. After eating, there is satisfaction, comfort, contentment. When something eats us, there is pain, anger, hatred, then death, and again a new vessel. This is all the mind could do: eat, feel full, feel pain, react. Its knowledge went no further than this. Through countless changes of vessels we have passed, becoming every type of creature, bearing children, parents, relatives, families beyond number. We have taken on countless forms. Finally, we gained the human body, and many times, even as humans, we died in vain. The chance of returning as human again is extremely rare. Though we may have lived as humans often, far more often we were animals. Every time we came, we left empty, without true gain. But now, in this very life, we must awaken our minds. As I have said, I came to see and know the voice that speaks in the heart. From the beginning until now, there has only ever been this voice. Do you see? Every story, every world arises from it, and you already sense it, already hear it. It knows by itself, understands language by itself, processes and interprets all by itself. If you observe, turn awareness inward, listen again and again, contemplate and understand, it will grow lighter, freer, clearer. The more you listen, the lighter and clearer it becomes, until the realization arises. Ah, there is no self at all. Then why do we suffer? Why drown in pleasure or in pain? It is all only activity, only appearance. When this begins to be understood, the grip of I begins to loosen. Life grows lighter, freer. The more you listen, the more open it becomes. Living grows easier, until one day you see clearly, nothing is me. What knows, knows by itself. What speaks, speaks by itself. What thinks, thinks by itself. All happens on its own. Emotions rise and fall on their own. There is no us many who listen deeply for just one day, one talk, not even 7 days, suddenly break open to the pure essence. Tears fall. The mind is astonished at itself. We are the pure essence. We are no longer bound to suffering. Life changes completely. The one quick to anger grows gentle. The one filled with anxiety grows at ease. Those suffering from depression, neurosis, migraine, bipolar disorder, stomach ailments, reflux, even cancer, all rooted in cycles of repetitive, stressful thought, begin to see that these diseases are fires we ourselves have been stoking, burning the body through our own fabrications. We did not know, for no one taught us. And so we fell into sickness, shortening life, lost in thought. But once we awaken to the mind, once we understand its nature, everything changes. Life grows lighter, freer. We no longer play with thoughts. Sleep comes easily. Work may still be busy, but when finished, it is put down. We return home in ease. Thoughts and emotions arise as usual, but now they are released as soon as they come. Joy arises, let it be. Sorrow arises, let it be. Whether we notice or not, it passes. All is known, yet nothing is held. Knowing, releasing. Knowing, letting go. Not like before, when knowing meant clinging, carrying, stressing, cycling again and again. That was the old delusion. Now, it ends. When you listen and truly understand, there is nothing in this world that is us. It becomes a way of knowing and releasing, knowing and letting go. Whatever is known is simply allowed to pass. It is a knowing that leads directly into understanding, and once understood, it dissolves. Have you noticed? True understanding is very light. It requires no memory, no fabrication. Understanding gathers all experience, condenses it into the most essential insight, and seeps deeply into the mind. Then there is openness, ease, freedom. Whatever is known, once it is understood, doubt vanishes immediately. This kind of knowing is different. It ends all questions. It does not need to be remembered, carried, or held. It is effortless, and it brings ease. This is the knowledge of the mind. As this deepening continues, life becomes lighter, more spacious, more at peace. We begin to live simply, gently, without suffering. On this earth, we can dwell happily, without harming, without destroying, without conflict. World peace arises naturally, because all speech turns toward the mind, toward lightness, toward ease, toward freedom from suffering, toward awakening within. Awareness is always awake by itself. It perceives every arising, but does not cling to any of it. People begin to talk only of non-becoming, of purity, of the wonder of a mind that is clear and luminous. There is no longer a sense of being human at all, but only of being this pure essence. Living in the world without attachment, there is nothing left to suffer for, nothing to oppress or to fight over. The world becomes one of sharing, supporting, and guiding one another, speaking only of the pure element, of the end of suffering, of the primordial nature itself. When this understanding arises, we will no longer gossip, slander, or harbor anger and hatred. Conversation will turn only to the mind, to the pure element. There will be no entanglement with others, but an awakening within, seeing the natural purity of one's own being, and then pointing others toward that same purity. It becomes a sharing of wisdom, giving insight to one another, passing on the knowledge of liberation. Those who awaken first become like teachers, helping others forward. Those who have not yet awakened ask from those who have, supporting one another. The result is that no one is caught up in worldly matters. Children themselves will speak only of the mind, of non-becoming, of freedom from suffering, of the purity of awareness. There will be no slander, no gossip, no fighting over wealth or land, because nothing is ours at all. Even this body is not ours. It arises only because we think it so. As I said, listen and understand this well. I will guide you back to mind, back to the pure element. Close your eyes. Let the body disappear. Listen without using the brain, without thought, without memory. For I am not teaching you to think or to remember, but to know things as they truly are. Rely only on the act of knowing. However it is known, let it be known just like that. Step out of the world of thought. I divide the sense of self into 3 layers. The first is the layer of the body, the outer peel. This body is not who we are. We only borrow it. Like a piece of fruit, the peel is not the fruit itself. Peel it away, and you find the flesh. But even the flesh is not the true fruit. Whoever sees this clearly should let it go as well. Peel and flesh, both layers are not the real thing. Yet most of us believe the peel is who we are, and we care for it as if it were ours. But both peel and flesh are not us. When this is seen clearly, we can let them go. And when these 2 layers are released, their meaning falls away completely. We are the seed of the fruit. We are that very seed. The seed is the primordial element, the life essence. The peel and the flesh cannot give life. Only the seed, the life essence, can. Who would imagine that the great tree, the one that feeds the world, shelters it, sustains it, has been condensed into a tiny seed? Who could see that within the seed lies the great tree itself, the food of the world, the life of the world? Plant it, and it will grow into a mighty tree, bearing fruit in abundance, nourishing all living beings. That is the heart of it. We are the seed. We are not the peel, and we are not the flesh. This body is only the vessel we inhabit, just the outer layer. The body is not us, for soon it dies. And when this body dies, we drift in search of another vessel. As long as we have not realized that we are the mind, the life essence, we will keep seeking new bodies, new containers for fabrication. When the body is stripped away, close your eyes, the body vanishes. What remains? There remains the voice, the constant voice that speaks, that thinks without end. Notice it. The voice in the heart speaks by itself, thinks by itself. We need only watch. Let it speak. Then we will see clearly. This speaking voice is not us, just as the flesh of the fruit is not us. But most people do not dare to let go of the flesh, do not dare to see directly. Instead, they cling to the inner voice, the endless chatter. What time is it? Is that right? What shall I eat? Do you see how it speaks on its own? The moment we see clearly that it speaks by itself, understanding dawns at once. Ah, this is the voice. This is thought tears fall. There is lightness. There is joy. A flash of realization arises. Ah, this voice is what creates every story. And immediately, the next question arises. Then where is the self? Right here, it is as if all the knowledge we had carried throughout life shatters. The voice we relied on for so long is seen for what it is, just fabrication. It is not us. If we no longer depend on the voice in the heart, what remains is emptiness, without meaning. There is only the bare act of knowing, without story, without weight. And in that moment, everything becomes spacious, as if the brain itself has disappeared. This is crucial, to see clearly that the second layer, the layer of fabrication, is also not us. We once believed the body was us, but I have said already, the body is not us. If it dies, that is the end of it. If it lives, it still is not us, for it was born only to age, sicken, and die. The body is decaying every moment. It is not who we are. It is like sitting inside a car. We think the car is me, but in truth, we are simply the one inside, using it. Do you see? When the body is cast aside, what remains is this second layer, the fabrications of thought and voice. If we see that these function on their own, we immediately find what we are, mind itself. To turn back against the current and awaken to mind is to see that all external things are not us. It is like peeling away the rind, not us, then peeling away the flesh, not us either. When everything is discarded, when we cling to nothing, we discover we are the seed inside. Close your eyes, and you will see that the body is not us. Let it do its work as it always has, but do not think of it as my body anymore. In truth, the body arises because we think it. Close your eyes and think of your limbs. My left leg, my right leg. The voice inside says, this is my left leg, this is my right leg. It is the voice that labels, that describes. This is my thumb, my index finger, my middle finger, my ring finger, my little finger. In reality, knowing simply receives without speaking, open and empty. It is the voice that is speaking. If this is understood, you will see that the body exists because of thought. Whoever can see to this point will weep with both clarity and joy. For this is the first opening of the 𝙈𝙗𝙨, the beginning of readiness to never be born again. It is not necessary to practice by closing your eyes. Live life as usual, but observe within. The voice is speaking, thinking of this and that all the time. Who is it? If we can see that it thinks on its own, speaks on its own, and is the one that assigns value and meaning to everything, then we have seen the root of it all. Once this is seen, a subtler truth appears. The voice is not us. It thinks by itself. It speaks by itself. Just like what I am speaking now, the voice is speaking on its own, and it also imagines itself. Every time a thought arises, an image appears with it. For example, thinking of visiting parents in the countryside brings up an image of parents and home there. The image arises by itself, then fades away. The voice speaks on its own, then dissolves. The image does not speak. It only appears and then vanishes, leaving the mind aware of it. Our mind itself has no fabrication. Our mind is the pure element. It only makes use of tools, voice, image, emotion, to function. If we see clearly that all these, voice, image, emotion, are operating on their own, we will know with certainty they are not us. Emotions of pleasure, pain, calm, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, all arise on their own and vanish on their own. They arise because we think, we imagine. When things go as we want, joy appears. When they do not, sorrow arises. Yet none of this is us. If this is truly seen, tears fall. There is lightness, freedom. A shift takes place. Then it becomes clear. Emotions are not us. Memory is the same, arising and vanishing on its own, not to be clung to. And then we come to perception itself. This is the most vital. Right now, the sound is being heard. It is known on its own. There is no need to intend to listen. It is already heard, already received. If this is seen and brought inward to the center of the mind, it becomes clear. The sound is appearing in the mind. The mind is knowing on its own. Then the question arises, where is the self? And the moment we see that none of it is us, and we accept this fully, the mind releases. Instantly, there is openness and freedom. So I say, listen often until the mind is awakened. Make a firm resolve. Listen, incline inward, observe at the very center of the mind. When this is understood, there will be lightness, spaciousness, as if an explosion shatters everything, every layer of fabrication breaking apart and vanishing. Then we will meet the pure element, the radiant emptiness. We will have returned home. For so long, we have been lost, relying on tools and conditions. But now the time has come. Return home. Let go of everything. None of it is us. The voice speaking now is not us. Thoughts, images, emotions are not us. Even knowing itself is not us. Recognize that these are simply natural functions, knowing on their own. Nothing at all is me. Nothing at all is mine. I will end here. May all of you incline your minds toward this truth and awaken to your own pure essence, swiftly, suddenly, here and now. If you're interested in these teachings on awakening, mind observation, and transcending suffering through wisdom, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights in the comments, provide productive feedback, and if you find this content valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.